to the Jesus Path, Come Be Rescued podcast by Peggy Fink. Today, I have to take a detour from looking at hymns. Have you noticed in God's stories in the Bible there are so many details? I'm reading through the Bible, and today's reading was 1 Samuel 17. It just happens to be the story of Goliath and David. Listen to the details that begin the story. The Philistines were standing on one hill, and the Israelites were standing on another hill, with a ravine between them. Just that verse sets up the scene, the distance between the two camps. And yet, Goliath yells and taunts the Israelites, and they hear him. Listen again to the description of Goliath. Then a champion named Goliath from Gath came out from the Philistine camp. He was 9 feet 9 inches tall and wore a bronze helmet and bronze scale armor that weighed 125 pounds. There was bronze armor on his shins, and a bronze sword was slung between his shoulders. His spear shaft was like a weaver's beam, and the iron point of his spear weighed 15 pounds. Now there is a precise description. He's 9 feet 9 inches, not almost 10 feet tall. He wore a helmet, a bronze helmet, and think about the armor. We are told it weighed 125 pounds, and his spear weighed 15 pounds. God shares specifics with us. Let's skip to a story about Jesus in Matthew 4. One day, as Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee, he saw 2 brothers, Simon, also called Peter, and Andrew, throwing a net into the water, for they fished for a living. This verse gives us the scene of Jesus walking along the Sea of Galilee shore, looking out and seeing a couple guys fishing. The details of who the men are and what they did for a living, and this is all in one verse. Then Jesus asked the men to make a life adjustment. The Bible tells us what's happening in their lives, and then God. And I mean, and then God. Or, and then Jesus. I've been going through a Bible study called Experiencing God by Blackaby and King. They ask, what kinds of adjustments are required to position your life to be used by God? They give 6 categories, and the first one is God might ask you to make adjustments in your circumstances. Let's go back to walking with Jesus on the shore. Jesus called out to them, "Come, follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people." Change of circumstances? I would say so for Peter and Andrew. They are fishermen, but Jesus asked them to change their circumstances, which changed their lives. You know the saying, if you keep doing the same thing, you get the same results? Well, Jesus knows that statement too. That may be why he asks us to change our circumstances, which changes results in changing our lives for him. We might say, we can't keep doing the same things and change for God. Or, we know that any change God asks us to do will be good for us. Peter and Andrew change, as we're told in verse 20. And they left their nets at once and followed him. They made a drastic change of circumstances to follow Jesus. We can read or know the rest of their story, and that change to follow Jesus was definitely good for them. What change of circumstance is God asking you to do today? If you aren't sure, Psalm 5:3 may be something to pray to God today about. Listen to my voice in the morning, Lord. Each morning I bring my request to you and wait expectantly. Wait expectantly. God might not be asking you to change today, but wait expectantly. He will move in your life. For the next few weeks, we will look at the other 5 life adjustments that God might ask people to make in their lives. This is the one adjustment of topics that God has shown me for changing direction in this podcast. Think about Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Blessings as you listen for God's nudge to make that adjustment of circumstances in your life.